Hello, it's me, Jacob. We're going to start in Psalms 52. Why boastest thou thyself in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of God endureth continually. Thy tongue deviseth mischiefs like a sharp razor working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Selah. Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. God shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place, and root thee out of the land of the living. Selah. The righteous also shall see and fear, and shall laugh at him. Lo, this is the man that made not God his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the mercy of God forever and ever. I'll praise thee forever because thou hast done it, and I will wait on thy name, for it is good before thy saints. So just take a little moment to look at this psalm. This is like a psalm that just made me think of the rich young ruler again. It's like, lo, this is the man that made not God his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches and strengthened himself in his wickedness. And the verse before that one, oh, that was verse 7, by the way. I'm sorry if I didn't make that obvious. The righteous also shall see and fear and shall laugh at him. Sometimes, like, as Christians, we can even mock people just because they basically believe silly things or whatever. They think they're going to save themselves. I will pray. Here we'll read in the verse 8. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the mercy of God forever and ever. I will praise thee forever because thou hast done it, and I will wait on thy name, for it is good before thy saints. You know, that's like an interesting way to word it. Thou hast done it. He's done it already. God has saved you already. And it's all because mercy. And it's all by faith by us. Let's go continuing. Psalms 53. The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. Corrupt are they, and have done abominable iniquity. There is none that doeth good. God looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand, that did seek God. Every one of them is gone back. They are altogether become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Have the workers of iniquity no knowledge? Who eat up my people as they eat bread? They have not called upon God. Where there were they in great fear, where no fear was for. For God hath scattered the bones of him that encampeth against thee. Thou hast put them to shame, because God hath despised them. That the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion. When God bringeth back the captivity of his people, Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad. So I'd like to go over this one. The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. Corrupt are they, and have done abominable iniquity. There is none that doeth good. Obviously, we are all sinners. And I would say this might be speaking of more corrupt people, like basically a reprobate, maybe possibly. God looked down from heaven upon the children of men. That would basically just be mankind as a whole. That's not God's children. To see if there were any that did understand, that did seek God. Every one of them is gone back. They are altogether become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Of the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread. They have not called upon God. This was something I kind of had like something to discuss about today. The Bible talks about calling upon the name of the Lord. And for some reason, in like the free grace community, I guess you would call them, or us, I consider myself free grace, obviously. They kind of like just reject the teaching that after you believe, you shouldn't call upon the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. It's not like they like almost like think that means it's a work. So like it talks about in Romans it says, by the heart by the heart believeth, but by the mouth confesses what the heart believes. Or basically, that's like a paraphrase. Here, I'll just go there real quick because I know it. It's Romans chapter 10, verse 9. This is why it's kind of like important to read the Bible for yourself, and obviously, it's because it's kind of like this weird teaching, like they just like don't want to confess Jesus Christ as Lord with their mouth. I don't understand it. That if thou shalt, here in Romans chapter 10, verse 9, that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thine heart that God hath raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. Okay, that sounds like your basic believing in what Jesus and God the Father has done. For with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. Well, it's just like right there and there, it's just kind of like comes hand in hand together. It's kind of like the thief on the cross. You know, he went from not believing, but when he did believe, then he confesses, Lord, remember me when you enter into thy kingdom. I might be paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what he said. He confesses him as Lord, talking to Jesus, and Jesus tells him, well, for today we will be together in thy kingdom or whatever. Anyways, I don't want to bring up too much on that. I just wanted to talk about that for a little second because I think it's kind of a weird doctrine. And it's like, if you read, have you ever read something out of the Bible that says Jesus Christ is Lord or something like that, and you basically have confessed with your mouth Jesus Christ as Lord. So it's like well, I don't know why they have like such a harp on it. And it seems like they just have like a beef with the NIFB for some reason. I don't know. Anyways, save me, O God, by the name, and judge me by thy strength. Hear my prayer, O God, give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers are risen up against me, and oppressors seek after my soul. They have not set a God before them, Selah. Behold, God is mine helper. The Lord is with them that uphold my soul. He shall reward evil unto mine enemies. Cut them off in thy truth. I will freely sacrifice unto thee. I will praise thy name, O Lord, for it is good. For he hath delivered me out of all trouble, and mine eye hath seen his desire upon mine enemies. This is probably just a prayer type thing for physical salvation or physically asking God to help you for something. Um, we'll go ahead and do maybe one or two more Psalms. Psalms 55. Give ear to my prayer, O God, and hide not thyself from my supplication. Attend unto me and hear me. I mourn in my complaint and make noise because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked. For they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. My heart is sore pained within me, and the terrors of death are fallen upon me. For fearfulness and trembling are come upon me, and horror hath overwhelmed me. And I said, Oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then would I fly away and be at rest. Lo, then would I wander far off and remain in the wilderness, Selah. I would hasten my escape from the windy storm and tempest. Destroy, O Lord, and divide their tongues, for I have seen violence and strife in the city. Day and night they go about it upon the walls thereof. Mischief also and sorrow are in the midst of it. Wickedness is in the midst thereof. Deceit and guile depart not from her streets. For it was not an enemy that reproached me, then I could have borne it, neither was it he that hated me that did magnify himself against me. Then I would have hid myself from him. But it was thou, a man mine equal, my guide, and mine acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together and walked in unto the house of God. and company. Let death seize upon them, and let them go down quick into hell. For wickedness is in their dwellings, and among them. As for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall save me. That I want to like highlight right there, but we'll do that after here a little bit. I'm going to go into detail about this here in a second. Evening and morning and at noon will I pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. He hath delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me. For there were many with me. God shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old. Selah, because they have no changes, therefore they fear not God. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. But thou, God, O God, shalt bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. So I wanted to go over, verse numbers. We'll start with verse 13, because that's when he says but here. But it was thou a man, mine equal, my guide, and mine acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together, and walked unto the house of God in company. Let death seize upon them, and let them go down quick into hell. For wickedness is in their dwellings, and among them. As for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall save me. So that's like a Old Testament clear teaching. You call upon God and shall save me. But this, he is talking about acquaintance. So I might consider this being whether or not these people are probably unsaved, I guess, because they're saying basically quicken to hell, for wickedness is their dwelling. And it seems like what he's saying, as for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall save me. And I would say that it's got to be like a darn it, what am I trying to say? If this is a spiritual salvation, I would say it's probably a physical salvation, because he knows that they're wicked and they're probably out to get him and kill him or something. And he's basically continues on, like he talks about how their words were smoother than butter, but war was in his hearts. So he like has this feeling that they're out to get him. So this is probably talking about a physical salvation. Yeah, see, like I got a little psalm note, like at the it's like a hurt. David is hurt by a close friend. So this is obviously like when basically like say a good Christian friend, he's like living wickedly or something, and he somehow like just kind of backstabbed you. You should always just have your faith and your trust in God. Anyways, we're gonna call it there. All right. Good. God bless everybody, and good night.